Hello, and welcome to Havoc Wargaming, dedicated to bringing you the uncommon. For those of you who haven't met me, my name is Ron, and today what we're going to do is talk a little bit about an error I made in playing Blood on the Sands Training Grounds, the quick start guide for Blood and Sands by Frank Sultana. I don't remember offhand what the name of the company is. So let's get started. It was brought to my attention when I did my video on the quick start guide to Blood and Sands that I made a pretty substantial error in the rules. I remember reading about this, but I somehow thought it was more optional. And Frank brought it to my attention, and in fact, it was pretty clear when he brought it up that it's a major point of the game. It's one of the important principles, and it's the knockback. I don't remember if that's what he actually calls it, but whenever a gladiator is hit, he gets pushed back. This is a major part of the game because, as you may imagine, if you're constantly being pushed away from the gladiator that you're fighting, you now have a separation. You're not just bashing back and forth. There's also a rule for being pushed up against the wall. You're not likely to get pushed up against the wall if you're just standing in one place, never moving. And that rule's not being then coming into effect. And it's a somewhat important rule to the game. What we're going to do now is go to the gaming table and just show an example of how this rule works. All right, this is my second Blood and Sands video. I'm going to try to fix a major error I committed in the game originally. This is withdrawing. The loser of a fight has to withdraw, basically. And I thought it was more of an option than it is. I was thinking of it as being what the name would imply, that it was withdraw, but it's really like knocked back. And it's going to change the way the game flows or feels because it helps separate it from one another. So they're not, in fact, playing the whole game in one position. So I'm going to do the best I can here. I am not as refreshed on the rules as I was last time. I'm reading multiple rules at one time, which is never really a great idea. Also, I should probably mention that I'm not sure how exciting this is going to be because this is not really meant to be a solo game, but we'll do what we can. This is using the beta system of the PDF, the free rules. These are available online for anybody who's interested in giving them a try. So I suggest looking into that if you're interested. So the very first thing we do, phase one, roll action die. I'm going to start these guys exactly the way around because that's how I set my table up, or my boards up. So I'm going to use the blue dice for the Thrakes, and the red dice are going to be for the Murmillo, and this will allow me to roll everybody's dice together at once. The Thrakes gets a 6, a 4, a 3, 2 2s, and a 1. And the Murmillo has 4 4s, a 3, and a 2. So what that means, the 4s are an attack, so he's in a good setup for attack. 3 is respite, 2 is defense, and the Thrakes has a 6, which is a laurel that can be preserved. It can be saved to be used later in the game, but it's basically a wild card. The 4 is again an attack, 3 is a respite. He's got 2 2s, which is defense, and he has 1 1, which is a maneuver. Determining initiative. Initiative dictates the gladiator activates first. Initiative scores are determined by counting the number of maneuver dice in each gladiator's action pool. So only the Thrakes has a maneuver die. You can convert a laurel die into a maneuver, but only the Thrakes has a maneuver die too, and he's not going to use it for that because he's already got initiative. If it was tied, the initiative would go to whoever had the initiative last turn. Of course, this is the first turn of the game. So that's phase 2. Phase 3 is activate gladiators. The player holding initiative activates first, spending action dice to perform actions. He's not in a great position. He's only got the 1 attack compared to the enemy, his opponent, I should say. This is not a war game. So maneuver. Gladiators may take the following actions by spending the maneuver die. He can move 1 hex. He can do quick step, moving the gladiator 2 hexes, gaining a point of fatigue. Fatigue is a challenge in this game, and you don't want to use it all up too soon, I don't think. So I think what he's going to do is he's going to spend his maneuver die to close. He's going to spend his attack die to attack. He could do a special attack. Does he have one of those that... No, he doesn't have a special attack die. He can't do a special attack. So he's going to have to do a normal attack. So this is a normal attack. Attack your opponent. Press the attack. Dice may be spent. He only has the one. Glider may be in a hex adjacent. Attacks have been declared. The attacking roller makes an attack roll. Attack rolls or opposed rolls, meaning both 2d6, applying modifiers. He doesn't have any modifiers, so he's going to roll 2d6. And he's got 7. So there's no advantage. The defender can parry. He's only got 1, but he's going to spend that on defense. He does have a defense token. He could use that. So he's going to roll this. Because he's got the big shield to scoot him, he's going to get a +3 bonus. So 7, 8, 9. It would have been tied, but that bonus means this is a failure. So what that means is the Murmillo does withdraw. If the attack was successful, he'd fall back directly. Because it wasn't, he has a choice of the 3 rear hexes. Or he can choose stand fast, which I think costs. Let's see what it takes to stand fast. Because if he falls back, he's going to be in trouble. He's not going to be able to fight back. He has to spend a defense die to stand back, which he can't do because he spent that on that. Well, he could have used the defense token to give him the defense shield, which means he could have then used this to stand fast. That's what I think I'm going to do. He's going to stand fast there because he doesn't want to fall back. So what do we have left? We have a respite, a 6. Oh, I could have used that for something. I can use it for a second attack. I'm going to do that. He's going to attack again. That was bad. With a 2, so I'll use the shield again. That's going to let me add a +3. I'm successful, but now he has to fall back because he doesn't have another 2 to spend to stand fast. So I'm going to move this way, I think. It's going to be one of these 3. I'm going to move there. And I'm going to go ahead and take a laurel token. Where do these go? I guess I'll put it here. 3s and 2. I'm going to keep the 2s. 3s are a respite. Dice are most commonly used to catch your breath, an action that reduces fatigue. I don't have any fatigue. I'm going to use the respite to play to the crowd. So he's going around trying to get the crowd all excited in what he's doing. He's going to roll a d6. He gets a 2. It's no effect. And I'm going to save his 2 defenses. He doesn't need to save the 2 defenses, though, because I've only got a bunch of 4s and a 3. A 3 is a respite. Might as well use that, I suppose. So he's going to play to the crowd. And he gets a 1. That's not what he wanted. He gets a disfavor token. They are not impressed. That's not what he wanted. They are unimpressed with the Murmillo. I get it, because so far he's not very impressive. Keep the crowd engaged. Gladiator must meet at least one of the following conditions at the end of the activation. Attempt to attack, including a special attack. So the Thrakes has that. The Murmillo does not. End the activation at least 1 hex closer to their opponent than when they started. They do not have that. Finish the activation adjacent to their... So that's 2 disfavors for the Murmillo already. That is not a good start. If he gets another one, he'll actually have apathy. And 2 apathies, and he's already lost the game. Not a very good starting turn there. But nobody's wounded, and we will roll again. So the Thrakes has a 4. That's an attack. 3 defends. And 2 maneuvers. And we have 2 6s, which are wild cards or laurels. We have a 5, which is a special attack. We have a 3, which is a respite, and a 2 and a 1. I forgot about fatigue. This should have been fatigue at the end of the turn. Fatigue and bleeding. This should have been phase 4. Fatigue and bleeding phase comprises the following 4 steps. Check if hurt. Nobody's hurt. Fatigue check. Each glider grades 1 point of fatigue. That's what I thought. Assess bleed. Nobody's bleeding. Check fatigue. If they can lose dice when they cross certain points, but we're nowhere near there yet. And then end of turn. Turn ends immediately. They get back their action and start over. That's where we're at. The Thrax maintains his dominance. We're going to use a 1 to move forward. I'm going to use the Laurel I have to give me a 5. To give a heavy strike, he's going to roll his heavy strike. So he's got a 2. I don't think he has any modifiers now. He's got a +1 on the wound chart. So he's going to roll, and he gets a 7. Yeah, we're going to use a 2 to allow a defense roll. We're going to roll a 7. I'm going to go ahead and use that other shield, I think. That's going to give me a +3. No problem. So he wins. However, it had been an attack, so he does have to fall back. I don't have an ability to not fall back, but he has the win, so he can choose where he's going to go. So he can go here, here, or there. He's going to go here. I'm going to spend the other movement to move in. I'm going to spend the other 4 for another attack. I get a 4, so I have 4. He's going to return that by spending the 2 now. And again, that's a success. Again, he wins though, and he has to get pushed back, and he's going to go, when his choices are here, here, or there, he's going to go here because that wall's getting closer. And I'll have her defenses. So that's the end of his action. We're going to go to the Murmelio. The Murmelio is going to close because he doesn't want to get more fatigue. He's going to go ahead and hit with a special attack. We're going to do impetus. So he's going to spend the 5 to do an impetus. He's going to swing. And he gets a 9. I'm going to go ahead and use one of the Thrax's shields. He's only got a +2 for his. That's not good. So that's going to be a hit. So we roll for location by rolling 2d6. I got a 3. That's a rear leg. The rear leg is armor 3. No modifier on this. The effect of that die is a 4. Harried. Harried means there is a fatigue increase, but that is it. Just a fatigue result. However, it also means that he lost the fight, and in this case, did get hit, so he's going to have to go directly back. So he goes to here. I'm going to use my other movement to close, and then I'm going to use a 6 to hit again at a +2. I think I made a mistake there. I think the one, so I think I have to make that a 5 and use a rush. So he's going to rush in to make an attack. That'll work. He gets a +2 to this because of the impetus. So 7 is going to go up to 9. I'm going to use the other shield. Get a +2. 5, 6, 7, 8. Not enough. That's still a hit. So he's going to roll for hit location. That's an 11. That is torso. This is going to give a +2 modifier to the wound table. 5, 6, 7, 8. That is a deep wound. A deep wound does a wound to the torso. He has no armor in his torso. It causes a bleed, which is not particularly good. And it gives a favor, gets rid of one of the disfavors. All right, and he still has to fall back, directly back, so he's there. We'll use the 3 to get a roll for favor, no effect. Now I have a 6. I'm going to save that by giving him a laurel. So that takes us to the bleeding and fatigue phase. He did not take 3 at a time. Each glider gains 1 fatigue. Gladiators with 1 or more bleed tokens gain an additional point of fatigue. Really no why this does this to me.
So that's not good.
That's probably
That guy's
valid.
losing. That was a valid
What
hit.
to do.
So we move on.
All right. 2 5s, those are special. 3 5s for the Thrakes, those are all specialty. 2 respites, he's going to need a respite because he's getting a little fatiguey. And he has a 1, which is a movement. A 6, which is a laurel. A 4, which is an attack. 3 3s, which is a respite. And a 2, which is a defense. Not a great roll for him, but maybe he can get some of his shields back. However, that does mean that the initiative is staying with the Thrakes. The Thrakes has completely controlled the initiative of this game. Yeah, we'll spend one of the 5s to do a rush. That's going to level up the fatigue, which is dangerous, but it's going to let him run in for 1, and then he does an attack. Got nothing to add to attacks. So he's got a 7. I'll go ahead and use the defense we have to do a defense roll. That's an 8. That's tied. Who did ties go to? Ties go to him. So he's got a choice of where to go, here, here, or here. He's going to go there. Use the 1 to go there. I'm going to do an aim strike using one of his attacks. This allows him to adjust the wound if he hits. He rolls a 9. We have a defense or a dodge. It's going to have to be a dodge. 6, 7, 8, 9. It's tied again. So he wins, but he still gets directed. So he gets to go here, here, or there. He's going to go here. Well, it could have turned that into a 1. I didn't see that. He can change 1s and 5s. And Mermello could have changed 2s and 3s. Those are both advantages I should have used. Can't really do anything with this for his 5. He's going to spend his 2 resolves to get some fatigue back. All right, that's him done. He's got no dice left for anything fun. He's in trouble if he gets attacked, which he will. I can do a rush. I can use the 6 that I have as a rush. That'll bring him here. He'll swing his attack, no bonuses. A 5. No modifiers to defense, but I get a defense roll, no problem. So I get to decide where to fall back, here, here, or there. I will fall back to here, I think. And I use the respites for fatigue, and 1 to roll 5 on the respite roll. He tries to please the crowd, he rolls a 5, can't do a whole lot better than that. Success, he gains a favor to him. So he gets rid of the disfavor he still had. Oh, I still had a 1. I forgot about that. I can use, I have a laurel. I will use that as a 1 to close, and I will use the 4 as an attack. Gets a 7 against the 7, so nothing. Again, choices. Go there. They both gain a fatigue. Normally, the bleed marker gives another fatigue, so the Thrakes is in trouble because he's slowly, he can't keep up with the fatigue loss. And we roll for initiatives again. And the Thrakes has a 6, 2 6s, a 5, which is special attack, 2 5s, 2 special attacks, a 4, which is a, oh my god, there's another 6. 3 6s, 2 5s, which are special attacks, and a 4, which is a regular attack. Nothing there gives him, I think he's finally lost 5, 4, 2 3s, 2 2s. I'm going to have to use one of those 6s to make a 1 to keep initiative. I'm going to use a 5 to do the rush. Rush in, and he's going to roll an attack. 12. enough. That is high. That is really good. If I spend the 2, I will get a dodge. 4, 5, 6, 7, that makes it 8. That's still not enough. So that is a hit. It's just a regular hit, no bonuses. So we will roll for the hit area. It is a 5. That is a lead leg, which is armored. And it's a hit for 8. Remove the 3. So what did I roll? 8, 3, it's a 5. It's a flesh wound. Flesh wound is just a wound, no blood. So that is a wound. He's not bleeding. However, he then gets directed straight back. I have a 4, 6, and a 5. I'm going to use a 6 to move in. I'm going to use the 4. No, I'm going to use the 5 to attack. I'm going to go ahead and use the aimed strike. He hits for 8. I'm going to go ahead and use the defense. We're going to go ahead and do a 2. And I think this should have actually given him a +3, not a +1, because I think he still carries the shield. I think it does just give him. So that's going to be 10. So he wins that. He's going to go back to there. I use that 6. I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to. I'm going to use a 6 to go there. I'm going to attack again. I believe me with no dice. I rolled a 5. That was a bad idea. I cannot modify this one. I have nothing left. And I still rolled a 9. So he still wins. And he's going to go there. Now it is his turn. We're going to go ahead and do the rush. Take him to there. He's going to roll his attack for 5. I have nothing. So just have to roll well. And I did. You'll hear here, or there. I will go there. And that's all he can do with that. He can use a respite to get a fatigue back. And he can use another respite to try to get happiness. He gets a 6, so he's going to get a favor. They're liking him now. So we get fatigue back. 2 fatigues here. That is not good. Thrax is at half fatigue, so he's actually going to lose a die. Put it there because it's like forever lost. Oops. No, the purple dies. So we have a 6, a 4, a 3, and 2 1s. And the Murmillo, that was the Thrax, the Murmillo has a 6, 2 5s, a 4, and a 3 and 1. The Thrax still has, he's had the initiative the entire game. He still has it. I'm going to go ahead and use let me turn the 1 into a 5 and use it to do the rush. Oh my God, 5. He's going to defend, +3, 3, 4, 5. So that's enough. He gets his choice of corners. He's going to move there. Going to move here with a 1 and use a 4 to do an attack. That is a 9. This time we will turn that to a 2 to use a +3. 7, 8. It's not enough. So he will be pushed directly back. He's going to be wounded in the 5. That is the lead leg again. His lead leg has an armor of 2, so it's going to be -2 to this roll. 6, 7, 8. 8 is a deep wound. Deep wound is a hit and a bleed. He's bleeding now. I'm going to turn the 6 into a 2 to give me a shield back. And I'm going to use a 3 to take a fatigue back. But that is his turn done. I'm going to use the rush to move forward. Boom, that's a 5. That's going to be an attack. 12. Good luck stopping that. I'm going to go ahead and use this to shield. This only gives me a +2. That's probably not worth it. Yeah, I'm not going to use the shield. Alright, so that is definitely a hit. Knock back. He does have a +1. Oh, he has to hit first. So he hits in the 6 lead arm. My lead arm has 2. It's a +1 for the strength and a -2. So it's going to be total -1 to this roll. We roll a 7. Flesh wound, a wound in favor. I think I forgot the favor last time. There should have been. Going to use the 1 to close. Use a 4 for a special attack. 5. Defended. That's no problem. This time I have a choice. I'm going to go here. I'll use a 6 to close. A 5 for a special attack. We'll do heavy strike, I guess. Heavy strike. 5, 6, 7, 8. I defend at 7, so that's a hit. It's a hit. In the 5, that is the lead leg. I haven't been hit there yet. So it's going to be a -2. It's going to be a -1 because of the special. So 3, 4. He's harried. Harried is just a fatigue. He can't really afford much fatiguing. So I have a 6 for the thrace. I have 2 6s, a 5, a 3. Oh, he's bleeding too. Actually, he's bleeding too. And a 1. For the Murmillo, I have 3 5s, a 4, a 3, and a 1. They are tied, and when they're tied, it goes to the guy who hasn't had it. So this is the first time the initiative has actually changed. So he gets to go first. Oh, I should have been knocked back. That's the whole point of this video. We're going to go ahead and do the rush. So he's going to come in and hit for 7. I'm going to spend the shield to give me a +2. Did not need it. I'm going to spend 1 to move in, and a 5 for a special attack. This is going to be the heavy strike because I like it. 5. Stopped. I'm going to go here. I'm going to turn to 3 into a 2. So I guess that's that turn done. The Thrakes. The Thrakes is going to use a 5 for a rush. Boom. It's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not enough, so that uses his defense. He is hit for 12. That is torso. That's going to give a +2 modifier on the wound. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Deep wound. Deep wound is a wound and a bleed, and he gets a favor. Ouch. And drove him back. I'm going to use the 1 to close. I'm going to use turn a 6 into a 5 for an attack. I'm going to do driven attack, which is a +1 modifier on the attack roll. So I roll 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, not good. It's 5, so he's going to go straight back. He does lose. He is hit in the 12, torso again, +2 to the wound. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is another deep wound. It is another bleed. And it is another favor. Now things are going to get rough. This is what I've been waiting for, but I can't get there. I'm going to save the 6, I guess, as a laurel. And I'm going to use the 3, try to get a fatigue back. Bleeds. 1, 2. Number 1, he loses a die. 1. Yeah, 2. We're not doing well. So roll off. fight's coming to a conclusion. The Thrakes gets a 4. Oh, I forgot a die. Alright, he's got a 4, 2 3s, a 2, and a 1. Whereas the Murmillo has 3 4s. Really needed 5s. A 2 and a 1. So this is tied. So it's going to go back to the Thrakes. The Thrakes only not have initiative 1 turn of this game. He doesn't have a really good choice of dice here, though, but he can... oh, but I had... That's what that 6 was for. I have a... I'm going to turn that 6 into a 5 to do a rush. This is what I was hoping to get to. This is a back to the wall. He's going to be disadvantaged is all. So this is the rush attack. We're going to hit with 8. I do have a defense. I'm going to use the 2. That's going to give me a +3 to the defense roll. Oh, I was disadvantaged. So I have to do that 3d6 and take the lower 2 dice. All right, so we'll do that again. Yeah, great. 6, 7, 8, 9. So that was bound to happen. I have to withdraw. So I collide with the wall. So I have to roll on the maneuver table. So I roll a d6. I rolled a 5. That's not good. No, that was good. Succeed. Collision avoided. Where this is bad is I don't go anywhere now. I can go ahead and change that 1 into a 5. And I'm going to hit with a heavy strike. That is a 9. I don't have anything special for defense, but I do defend. Can't be knocked back anywhere though, so ooh, this is a collision. Failed roll on collision table, so it's not a definite collision, it just means I have to roll 1. Tripped immediately, concede the match. So he's tripped over the wall, he falls, and the match is conceded. You can see how the withdrawing changes the fight a lot. It means less actual swings, but it eventually got him against the wall, and he lost from that. I mean, he wasn't doing really well anyway, but he lost because of that. So I hope that gave you an idea on how that important role changed. And this is important to me because I'm hoping that people will try this game, and this is a pretty important error I made. And it'll give you a better idea what to expect or what you might feel from the game. As I mentioned before, I'll mention it again, the Blood on the Sands Quick Start is available on the webpage. I'll put the link to that on the page here. This is free of charge. This is the beta. It's not the final rules. It's a limited set. It only allows for 2 types of gladiators. But it's really designed to help you get started, to play the game now while we're waiting, and to help promote the game, to help you decide whether you like it or not. So I hope somebody will consider that. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll hit like. And if you'd like to receive further notifications for videos like this one that may help you determine how to better spend your time or money in your tabletop wargaming hobby, then I hope you'll hit subscribe and ring our notification bell. Until next time.